Hey, and happy Monday again. We are coming live. Me, Irina Portnova, with Dina Alexander. And what we are talking about, well, before we dive in what the conversation is all about, let's just welcome you to this beautiful episode. If this is the first time you are tuning into our podcast, welcome. We always welcome new souls who are ready to explore, who are ready just to conversate, to expand their consciousness. And this is Passion Unscripted, a podcast where we talk about love, intimacy, and everything what's interesting and something that we are learning and growing. And let me tell you, even us as the co-hosts, we are constantly learning something. And thanks so much for you for your participation, for always being with us. It's all about learning and growing. We all do as long as we are breathing. And just a couple of words about myself. I'm Irina Portnova. I call myself Manifestation Star because I manifest great things in my life and I help you to do the same, to manifest your best relationship, to manifest your love and anything what you are ready to step into your life. Again, we are manifesting all the time, and this is a great space to learn more how you can use that power in order to create your reality. And I'm also inviting you to my membership because this is the end of the prices that I'm having right now. If you want to check it out what this is all about. We manifest collectively, and when we gather together in the space, our manifestation desires come to fruition much faster. So check it out. If you have any questions, DM me and I'll answer them. And today I'm here with Dina Alexander, who is my amazing co-host. Dina, tell a couple of words about yourself. What are you doing and what are you up to?
Hi, Irina. It's Monday. It's fun day. I love the
Mhm.
Mondays because I
Mhm.
spent a couple of minutes with Irina and we talk about perfect topics. Today's
Mhm.
topic was from a client, a client,
Mhm.
not a client, but it was a follower of us.
Yes.
That I hope he is in with us. L, come in, L.
Mhm. Yes, Al, we are calling you in.
So what's who am I? I'm Dina Alexander. I live in Aruba. I am a personal coach, a relationship coach, and a sex coach. Um, du- During I love as an entrepreneur, I love different streams of income, and one that I'm really working on is a network marketing model, a Dutch company. It's a natural supplement. I love it. I love how it makes me feel because there are so many chemicals in our foods and processed fruits and that kind of stuff. So it's rewarding. I feel it rewarding when I take care of my um, insight like that, and
Mhm.
while earning a lot of money. So that's a little bit about me. If you want to know more, contact me and we'll network.
Mhm. Yes. So let's dive into the topic because again, as we mentioned, Al, who is our Raven fan, who comes and chats with us without any limits, and I love that trait about Al. And we miss Giovanni. Giovanni, come anytime. We love to have you with us. So it's all about participation. It's all about staying curious and learning what is something that really sets our soul on fire, and it's also related to our intimacy and understanding ourselves better, right? So last time we were having the podcast, and Al brought up something about rejection, and that's why we are coming up with this topic for today, which is male ego and rejection in love. I feel like man, Dina, and let me know what's your thought on that. Men feel rejection even more harder than the women because it's not just hurting our hearts, but it's also hurting their ego, right? And male have hell of an ego.
Yes, Irina, I'm totally with you. Most men squirm. Hi, L. L is and Alice in the
Yes,
house.
Elle, it's great to see you with us.
So L can confirm, men can squirm. It's like rejection. Oof. Even saying that word out loud. I can feel some of you, if you're listening, already clenching. Don't worry. I've got you. Okay? Because let's be real. Rejection is never easy, not even for women. But for men, as you said, Irina, when it hits, it's not just the heart that aches, the ego that goes into full-blown opera meltdown mode.
Mhm.
So, and if ego takes the wheel, rejection can spiral into shame, anger, or even some truly messy choices that I'm not going to into that. But so it's the worst kind rejection. Okay.
Mhm.
So what comes up before
Yeah,
I?
I totally like agree, because for me rejection was never about myself. It's interesting the way I had my awareness even the early days when I remember, I think I shared on one of the episodes when I was in high school, and I liked this guy and he was older than me. And I remember I made my friend to go like and give like a message from me, like a note, right? So because we did not have his phone number, but he was living like next building to mine, and I found out where exactly he was living. So she became my messenger. So she went there. She said, like somebody, there is this girl. She likes you very much, and she handed him the note saying, "Okay, this is our meeting time in a couple of days." And I remember I was like, I was shaking like a leaf when she went with that message. And then I remember a couple of days after, I was just like, just imagining what that meeting is going to look like. I was listening to all these songs and just seeing myself, how do we meet with each other. And when the date came, he never showed up. And yes, but Dina, I'm telling you, I guess I was born with that confidence already, because like it never failed for me. Obviously, right now it's even more. But at that time, I was like, you know what? He just doesn't know what he's missing, right? So I was just coming from that again. It's all in our perception and our perspective, what we make out of any experience that we go
Yeah.
through. Obviously, I was laughing, like, just laughing at myself, thinking, oh my God, like, first of all, I was celebrating myself, like, not intentionally, because obviously I never knew about the work that I'm doing right now, right? How everything is connected. But at that moment, I was like, oh my God, I just overcame my shame. I overcame my, like, fear. What is it going to happen, right? And when he never showed up, I was kind of, yes, upset, but I was laughing about the experience, right? And then I said to myself, listen, it's not my like it's not that I'm missing out, he is the one who is missing out more, right?
Yes.
Again, for women, I feel for women it's more because like our ego is different than males, right? And for male, why it can be very hurtful, I think it stems from that idea that men are the providers, men are the winners, men are the conquerors. So when they hear no, it really hurts their ego, and they really do not know how to deal with that.
Yes. 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 Irina, three times yes. Let's unpack this, okay? This
Mhm,
understanding of the ego versus self and everything else. Oh, it
mhm,
rhymes.
mhm,
So, rejection is basically just someone saying no, no, thank you. And that's it, simple. Oh, what does else says? Overcoming ego is men's pride when they are rejected by women on sex, love, caring. Yes.
mhm,
So we are unpacking, L.
mhm,
Unpack with us.
mhm,
For many men, the brain doesn't hear no. The brain hears you are not enough. You are unworthy. You're not desirable. And then, bam, ego swoops in with this big macho cape, like
Mm-hmm.
I must defend myself because of the being the protector, the yeah, everything else. And this comes from humiliation. That's what a lady does to a man when she um, says no. Okay, that's how he feels if he is not emotional intelligent. Okay, if he didn't work on himself. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so now let's be clear, more clear. Your ego isn't evil. If you are a man and you are listening to us, your ego is not evil, and it's not a villain. It's just a protective little drama king. Ego's job is to avoid pain and
Mm-hmm.
keep you safe. But intimacy, safety doesn't come from defense. It comes from vulnerability. And there comes the emotional intelligence in. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So when no is comes on top during intimacy, you shouldn't take it and be defensive. You should be more vulnerable. Okay? Here's the reframe. Let's reframe everything. Rejection is feedback, not a verdict on your worth. It's someone saying, I'm not aligned with you right now, period. It doesn't mean you're broken. It means they are not your match. And yes, that actually is a gift because can you imagine trying out with someone that you are not matching with? Then you'll have more problems. Okay? So that's how I see it. How do you see it, Irina? You see it the same?
Mm-hmm. You know what? Yes. And I just wanted to add something to that because I'm very clear. If I say no, I always explain why not, right? So when men have the explanation behind no, right, it's easy for them to process that. And I think it's very important because whether you are a man or a woman, it's great when the person can really self explain themselves why this is not a good idea, or maybe this is not a good time for them, or maybe, like, like, I never had any issue to say what is not fit for me, right? So this is like my strengths. Like, I don't give a fly, right? And the same way, I don't give a fly whatever I hear. Like, I always forward the bitter truth than the sweet lie. And I just wanted to offer some of the healthy ways how man can process that rejection. So, because obviously the natural state of us, as we do not know how to deal with the emotions, and Dina noticed that, emotional intelligence is the key, right? And if we do not practice the emotional intelligence, we do not really know how to handle that. So the first step would be just to pause and feel,
Love
and
it, love
love
it.
it hurt without any judgment. Just acknowledge it instead of numbing or acting out, because again, men are very famous for escaping the situation. Not to say that all women know how to deal with that, but we are talking on this episode about men, right? Also, the step number two would be to shift the story. Instead of thinking she rejected me because I'm not enough, reframe it to, this wasn't the right timing for me, this wasn't the right match, and that's totally okay. The third step would be respect the boundary, because a woman's no is not a challenge, it's just the clarity. Respecting it creates dignity on both sides. And step number four would be to seek the growth. Use that rejection as a fuel to grow your self-worth, to build your confidence and your emotional intelligence.
You, I can scream out loud, yay! You nailed it.
Mhm.
I wanted to add something on the sentence that you started with. You said
Mhm.
when you say no, you usually explain.
Mhm.
Okay? And I would like to share. Look, if you want to explain, it's okay. But sometimes you don't know why you're saying no. It's because it's energetic. It's something
Mm-hmm.
your heart is
Mm-hmm.
saying to you.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't. Sometimes it's okay to say no, and you don't know why you're saying no, and you don't have to explain because it is your no. Okay, so if someone you don't you, this was a topic, last week topic in my tip of the week, saying
Right. Right. Mm-hmm.
um okay, let's talk about how ego reacts, because in men, what I've read, ego reacts in three types of way. Okay, the most common ego scripts are when rejection, what shows up are shame spiral. What's wrong with me? Why am I never good enough? You beat yourself up before anyone else can. Okay, that's a shame spiral. And maybe the majority of men, they get an anger explosion. How
Mm-hmm.
dare she say no? Doesn't she know who I am? She
Mm-hmm.
missed on something, an entitlement, a rage, maybe even ghosting or revenge dating on another lady because
Mm-hmm.
one said no to him. Okay, instead of going in and working on that shadow, um, emotion. Okay, or an avoidance mode. If I don't try, I can't be rejected. So he will never try. So he will, um, be afraid to get that no again. So
Mm-hmm.
you numb
Totally.
yourself out.
Close themselves out. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Stop taking risk, and intimacy dies before it can even start. So don't
Mm-hmm.
do those things. Okay? If these things sounds familiar, don't worry. You're not alone. These patterns are super common. But just because they're common doesn't mean they're healthy. They cut you off from the very connection you crave. So, what comes up because I hurt you? What comes up when I was talking?
Mm-hmm. No, this is so true. It just, like realize it's not about you a lot of times, right? And once people realize it's not about them, but it's a great time to kind of step back and reflect and really work on themselves because there is always another level of awareness that we want to tap in and do something about it, right? And like you mentioned that man used can close up, right? And that's exactly why a lot of people don't even want to try to build the relationships after they have been hurt much. And we already had this conversation. I was still like, I was always open for love, no matter how many times I get hurt. It never stopped me to search because I knew that if my soul wanted, I know that I'm going to connect with the person who wants exactly what I want.
Amen.
Mhm.
Amen. So you you shared some good tips just now. I like it what you shared. So I'm not going to share tips. You already did that. What
Mhm.
I'm going to talk about is about compassion. Compassion for yourself, for the men that's listening now, and the
Mhm.
women that are dealing with these men, even
Mhm.
the women that need to say no, or the women that bet a man after a woman told him no. Al is saying something here. Ego, um, emotional gone outwards. Part of
Mhm.
detachment from feeling for others. Does making one loss of appetite agree? Yes, I do agree. Okay, ego is emotionally gone outwards instead of going inwards, because it's all happening in you, in your head. Okay, so my loves, the ones that are listening to me, to us, here's the biggest truth. When men meet rejection with self respect instead of ego, intimacy heals and relationship thrive. Okay, so be aware. Are you meeting these rejections with ego? Let's work on it. Okay, let's do it together. Because the way you handle a no tells your future partners how safe you are to say yes. When a
Mm-hmm.
woman or anyone knows she can say no without triggering your rage or shame, she feels safe to open more fully. That's the magic. That's the
Mm-hmm.
safety sexual awareness in action that I'm talking about. And that's what I teach. Okay? What comes up, Irina?
No, nothing comes up. It just, like even from my, like past marriage that, um, my ex wasn't able to process well. His ego was hurt. And, like that's the way he was showing up. It's more like anger. It's more like, distance. It's more like denial. And like I'm just giving lots of love to him, knowing that when the time comes he is going to heal. And
Perfect.
that's exactly what it is, right? And like I was fortunate enough because as we are having this conversation, I know that like a lot of women were experiencing the stalkings, or like when men are just like can't accept that word no. I was lucky, I never experienced that. But I just wanted to say that again, it all when men do these things, it also there is a lot of work for them to do on themselves. And again, it all stems from the self-worth and self-respect, because if the person loves themselves, they wouldn't do that, right? They would let's say you can set up the time just to talk it over, but you would never chase the woman. And I've heard there are a lot of women who do the same.
Yes.
So for me, it's like, this is not even, like that zone that I ever been. And thanks God, I don't want to be a part of it. And what comes to my mind, there is like that great expression in Russian. We say, it's better to lose with the smart person than to find with the fool. Because, like when these men show up as being not fully, like fully stable in their mental faculty, it can really like show up in terms of like that the woman really would be afraid of them, like even to express themselves, as you mentioned, Dina, as expressing yourself to the fullest, be honest, because they would be afraid that that honesty is going to cause more anger, is going to cause like turn in the trash cans or anything else in between, right? So the idea is, my invitation is, like for everybody, just, like continue to grow your emotional intelligence, because it really helps you in a very, very great way to deal with your partner or future partner, or even like in any kind of relationship with the kids, with the parents, with the friends.
Love it. Love it, Irina. And time flies.
Yep.
I'm going to wrap it up. So let's wrap it up with a little sass and a lot of love. Okay, let's do this.
Mhm. Yep.
Um, Rejection isn't about proving your worth, as I said before. It's about practicing your
Mhm.
power, real power. The kind that says, I honor myself, I honor you, and I know love will always find me. And as
Mhm.
simple as that. Now,
Mhm.
this episode stirred something in you. If you're watching us, and if this episode stirred something in you, if you are ready to explore rejection, intimacy, and ego in a deeper, more embodied way, I'd love to connect with you. Okay, you can
Mhm.
find
Yeah.
me, you can find me in the website below, links below. You can find Irina also in the links below and the information below, and or write something in the caption, and let's
Mhm.
talk about it. Okay, until
I
next
love
time.
that. And I also wanted to mention that you could just share the episode as well, because
Yes,
sharing is caring, right? You never know who might benefit from that. Again, it's the topics that not very much widely spoken about. So it's great to share with people who would love to hear this kind of conversations. And Elle, as always, we love you a lot because you are showing up for yourself. You are really growing, just even tuning in to us on a weekly basis and participating. Like a lot of things are already happening for you on the energetic level, and it's all about catching up on the physical plane. But we appreciate you, we love you, and continue showing up for yourself because you'll see amazing results in your life. Thank
Yes.
you so much. Thank you, Dina, and thank everybody who is watching this episode. Until next time, we'll see you in a week. Bye.